Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Okay. Had to check my audio there. Okay. Had to check my audio there. All right. So let's turn that down on the phone. Yeah, I'm watching myself on the phone. But I just wanted to welcome everybody to just an impromptu uh, sideline junkie streaming session. First time I picked up 2K in a couple weeks now. That's my player. I mean, I'm a 75 overall. I'm in a race with my oldest son Dario, who's a 77. We both playing for the Lakers now. But a little background on my play. I started about a month ago. Once I got the game, I messed around and I've been doing the GM and stuff like that. So I I just been tooling around on stuff, and then all of a sudden, boom bang kapow, I decided to create another my player, and in a week I went from like a 66, put the work in the gym, no VC point buying. If you listen to any of the WrestleManiac shows, you know I don't believe in buying any daggone VC. So I believe in getting in the gym, working on my player, hard work, and you know building my play up from the ground up. So that's just a little background. I think I was drafted 18th overall. I'm still in my rookie year. Uh, Made it to the starting lineup. Just really getting it in with the Lakers, you know. And this game, period, 2K is just it's evolved so much over the years where you can call your teammates up on the phone. They can come over to the house, and you got a basketball court in the house. Y'all can run 3-on-3. And I think it's just freaking beautiful. So that's just a little background on just my 2K experience on 2K20. I love the share option. I'm sorry, not the share option. I love the soundtrack. I'm reading what's on the screen. I love the soundtrack, of course, because when I first downloaded it and I turned it on, the first song they played was Nipsey Hussle. I was like, all right, I'm good. This game's already got my attention. So, but going discuss a little hard subject, but I'm gonna try to keep it lighter. So, unless you've been living under a rock, you already know uh, what the big headline is, and the passing of Kobe Bryant and 8 others, including his daughter, one of the coaches, and everything. One of the what's he's been called one of the best JUCO baseball coaches. Um, Very very sad. But I did a solo excuse me solo podcast last night, and it's posted up on every major streaming platform. So check that out. Um, Now don't mind me while I'm playing this because I'm gonna be talking. I'm a little rusty, so I got to get my feel back. Uh, Wait, we gotta hold on. Let me get rid of that ball real quick. Got to turn that function off. I can't stand that using the stick to shoot. I like that for my dribble moves. So you know, cross you up at the top of the key and go for it. But just the last 2 days, been thinking about and reflecting on Kobe as a player. Now, I said last night, I told the absolute truth. I was a Kobe hater for quite some time. Not because he couldn't play, but because they were always winning. That three-peat with Shaq. that first three-peat, number one, they stole my coach. They stole Phil Jackson to get that done. If Kraus wouldn't have never buckets, he wouldn't have never messed up the Bulls. That three-peat wouldn't have never happened, you know. But it did. Can't go back and change up history now. So, uh, but I was for lack of a better term, and it's the truth. I was a Kobe hater because I couldn't stand, but I couldn't stand the Lakers. So I was a Shaq hater, a Kobe hater. Couldn't stand Robert Ory. You know, I got respect for these guys in my older years, later years for me, older age. I had respect for them then, but I just couldn't stand them because they always won. Who could stop Shaq then? And anybody that say Kobe wouldn't have won those three championships without Shaq, I mean that's one thing that everybody says. But you got to realize, in what was it, the second championship out of three-peat, he averaged like 28 points that year. He was a man on a mission. He came up. So you got to realize he did a lot too. So never diminish what he said. Now, granted, he did have a dominant center, and I always used to joke with people. That's one thing Michael never had. Michael never had a dominant center. So, but imagine how much more dangerous Jordan could have been with somebody of the caliber of Shaq. Okay, and Kobe won 5 championships. I mean, Gasol wasn't a dominant center, but that was prime Gasol. And if you look at that team, who on that team without Kobe would lead them? You know, Ron Artest came over from the Nugget, not the Nuggets, the Rockets, and he helped out on defense. You know, he did his thug thizzle. So uh, you can't hate on that team. That team was put together very, very well. So, but me personally, I was a hater of those teams. Well, the first three-peat, but I was in love with what he did against Orlando. I couldn't stand Orlando at the time, and it was good grief. I always miss that. It was just a love hate relationship. Good grief. But one thing you can never deny is the time. Oh my God! I told y'all I'm rusty. I'm rusty as hell. I can't even complete an alley oop. Let me see if I can get this right. Nope. We're gonna have to do this again. All right, cause I'm looking bad here. 10 tries, not even one alley oop. There we go. All right, I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. But Kobe as a player, you know, for those that are old enough to remember, when he came into the league in '96, uh, nobody expected much from him. That's one thing that can be said. Nobody expected much from, you know, kid out of high school. You know, you knew he had skills, but uh, you knew that it wasn't going to be. We didn't see Hall of Fame right away. So ain't nobody anybody lying and say that they did. You're a liar because Kobe wasn't even starting that rookie year. He didn't start until daggone I missed the dunk till later on. But once he got there, he never relinquished that role, and that was a good thing. Um, just the evolution, how God daggone it, how you know against Utah, he had 2 air balls, and Shaq pulled him to the side. You know, don't worry about it, come back. That brotherhood between those two, it was fractured for a little bit. But the simple fact that they got it back on track after that NBA TV special, and that was really, really, really good. And if you haven't watched that, I'm sure they're going to show it on NBA TV a lot over the next couple of weeks. But it was very, very good. Just like the Bird and McHale one was very good. To hear those two sit down and just talk, very, very good. Um, Now the Magic and Isaiah one, I tell anybody, and I'm not afraid to admit it, my eyes were sweating in that one because everything them two had been through, and not for whatever reason, whether it's because what Isaiah said after all of that, them two getting back together, but those two specials, mending broken fences, that's why it was special. Because Shaq was a big brother to Kobe early on. They had their rift. Their rift sent Shaq to uh, Miami. Get in there. Uh, Shoot, their rift almost sent Kobe to um, Chicago, which is what I was hoping for. Because I mean, at that time, Chicago was not doing very well, and we needed a guy. We needed a number one. Shoot, we needed a number one, and we didn't have it. And Kobe would have been that guy to get us going because he was in his prime. He could shoot. He could score. Of course, I mean, it's evident with the Lakers. I mean, but imagine Kobe with Luol Deng. Uh, who else is on those baby Bulls teams? This is before Derrick Rose, because I think it was as late as '07 that they were talking about Kobe coming to Chicago. So think about that, and who he would have been playing with now. The Bulls wouldn't have had the number one pick in '08 to get Derrick Rose. That's for damn sure. So we would have missed out on Derrick Rose. But the simple fact that he could have been a Chicago Bull, just that alone, that's pretty daggone good. What do I want to do? I'm a playmaker, so I like to work on my passing. But just what could have been if he went to Chicago, but it would have threw a lot of things off his axis. I waited too long. I messed up. That's on me. But oh come on, JaVale McGee just getting up there like that. Let me see if I can get this. Get it. There you go. Throw that thing down, big fella. Put it down, big fella. Uh. But just things that could have been. I mean, would it have netted a championship? It all depends on how John Paxson would have built built around Kobe and put everything together. Because nobody can say. I thought I swore by John Paxson at that time that he could do anything. But hey, you see what happened when him and Gar Forman got together, and they are asking for them two to be fired. But that would have saved John Paxson's job for years if he would have landed Kobe. And a story that I heard, I talked about it last night. Uh, Yesterday morning on my way to work, I heard a story from Al Galdi on Team 980 here in D.C. that Kobe was about to be a Wizard. And, it was the end of Michael's playing career here, and he was supposed to go back upstairs and resume his duties as president of basketball operations, part owner. But Abe Pollin summarily fired one Michael Jeffrey Jordan after the '03 season. What he played, 2001, 2001, 2002, 2002, 2003. Yeah. So after that 02, 03 season, he pretty much told Michael, "You're not coming back." Now, Michael not coming back meant that Kobe wasn't coming to DC. That's what it was. It would have been Kobe playing for Michael. Maybe Michael would have came back for another season, and him and Kobe played together one season. Kind of sort of a student and mentor thing. But them two together would have pushed that team to heights that they never seen. Because you got two uh, relentless guys. When it comes to practice, I've never seen two guys take practice more serious than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. And no matter what you say, Kobe modeled his game after MJ. And it used to rub me the wrong way. But then I thought about it. I said, who else does it? Everybody has done it. The way they wear their shorts. Well, they used to. Everybody wear these short shorts now that come about mid-thigh. And I'm like, what in the world have y'all done? The long shorts were started by Jordan. The fashion of the game, you know, every guy in the league used to model it after MJ. You know, before the NBA put a dress code in, guys came to the game still in a suit. You came in a suit before they put the dress code in. When the Iversons came in, Iverson changed the game because he brung a whole nother culture to the NBA. So, that's when you saw the sweatsuits and the t-shirts and the chains. But those guys, they never looked bummy when they did it. And, Kobe was a part of that. I remember Shaq wearing suits, but they that's the hip hop culture of that's when hip hop took over the NBA. So you think about that and you know, change the game. But my point is everybody either molded their game after Jordan or they took parts of it and molded, and added to their game. So it's one or the other. But just what could have been if Kobe could have came to the Wizards? Would the Wizards have a championship? Uh, with the money that Jordan freed up, you would have landed Kobe. So that probably would have meant there's no Gilbert Arenas. But if you still land Antoine Jameson, you still land Caron Butler, and you put Kobe, Caron, Antoine Jameson together, you add a Mike Miller. Those teams that were. Now I'm not saying that Gil was what was holding the Wizards back, because I mean he wasn't. He was the hibachi for a reason, because he could light you up quick. But Kobe was a different caliber, and Gil say Kobe described him to his daughter as the mother, what, that lit me up for 60, and Gil did it. That's one thing I can say about Gil. He never backed down from a challenge. But imagine if you could have signed all four of those guys. You could have had the Wizards' big three, and you could have had Kobe. Somehow, some way, you worked it out. Because one thing about Jordan's tenure here as president of basketball operations, he freed up some big damn money, whether you want to admit it or not. Getting rid of Juwan Howard's contract, I hated that they don't have the black and white Lakers uniform. But getting rid of Juwan Howard's contract was big because it freed up a lot of daggone money. That's how you sign Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jameson, Caron Butler. That's how you were able to get those guys, because of the money that was freed up. And you got a lot of young talent in return. But we can only play the what if game and say, hey, this is what could have been, you know? But thinking about it, what would it have meant for the Lakers? And that's one thing about the Lakers. Mitch Kupchak, who was the GM after the Honorable, the Great, the Logo, Jerry West, he didn't want to get rid of Kobe. That was one thing that he said he wasn't. No, you're not leaving. I'm not letting you walk away like that, which was cool, pretty daggone good. That's all right. But it worked out for the Lakers in the end. They come in '04. They sign Karl Malone, Gary Payton. You know, that was their version of the Fortune 500 Lakers because they signed a lot of Hall of Famers. You had Shaq, you had Kobe, but it just didn't work. It didn't work at all with all that talent. But the following year, Shaq's gone to Miami, so Kobe's trying to do his thing. But then when he finally gets Andrew Bynum, Ron Artest, Pau Gasol, and Jerry West, if you don't want to admit it, Jerry West helped out the Lakers because he was the GM of Memphis at the time, and he traded his best player, well, one of his best players, I should say, to the Lakers. And he traded. Why am I short so short? But I forgot I got throwback uniforms on. They always make them short. But he traded one of his best players to LA, and it got LA a title. It got LA a title. I mean, but you had Kobe as your driving force. You had secondary role to Gasol, things like that. But it worked out. And then I'm sitting here naming off names and thinking about who all that Kobe played with early. Up, pick, right there. Ha! That's what you do, baby. Pick and roll all day long. But you think about who he's played with. He played with Byron Scott. And this is another thing that most people don't realize. Think about this. Think about, dang on it. Think about this. Magic came back in '96. What did he play? 30 games? And if Magic would have returned for the '97 season, missed that. You would have had the bridging of Showtime 1. And I don't know what you would call that era because they weren't really running and gunning, but I mean, you would have had the bridge between Showtime and the Shaq and Kobe era. Uh, let's go. Okay, but that's if Magic would have came back another assist. But Magic decided to retire for good after the '96 season. They draft Kobe. Well, I'm sorry. They trade for Kobe on draft night. He's drafted by the Hornets, and he joins Eddie Jones, who I tried to explain to people. Eddie Jones was a mentor to Kobe, and he was one that admitted himself that Eddie Jones was, come on, let's go. I said downhill. Lay that thing in. Uh, Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, Eldon Campbell. Um, who else was on those early teams? I think I said Byron Scott. He played with, and Byron Scott wound up being the bridge from Showtime to the Shaq and Kobe era. Gone again. Lay that in. I lead this team in fast break points and fast break assists. I don't play around. I be getting it out here. I love to run. Yes, indeed, I do, Chris Webber. I love to run. But the that was the bridge. Byron Scott wound up being the bridge to Showtime, to Shaq and Kobe. So it was it's a good thing, but it could have been better if Magic would have came back, because it would have been something fierce to see Magic running the break. And he wasn't the same young '80s Magic, but he could still freak you. Ask Latrell Sprewell, because he shook him out his shoes. But come on, let's go, do it, do it, do it. Oh man, you should have took that up. But it could have worked. And they would have had a lot of talent. And those early Laker teams with Kobe from '96 to '99, that's 4 years they didn't win a title, but they were talented. Now think about it. '96, they couldn't get past Seattle. '97 to '98, Utah was the dominant team. Then '99, which was the lockout year, up comes uh, San Antonio. They let Dale Harris go, and Dale Harris, you know, I was watching a clip before I went live streaming, and Kobe was saying, Dale Harris didn't play him much that first year, and which is true. Dale didn't play him first year a lot, and I take that back. Kobe first year was '97. It was the season of '96, '97. Magic retired at the end of '95, '96. The last, let's go. Put that thing down. One. It could have been great, but it was a lot of dominant teams, and I take that back. It was '96, '97 was the Utah Jazz. They couldn't get past Utah, not Seattle. They couldn't get past Utah. That's who they couldn't get past. I apologize. So uh, they had trouble. Did it again. Back door, baby. I think because I'm streaming, y'all watching, that's why I'm playing like this. I don't worry about it. I get my double double. I make sure I get over 10 assists. Ooh, sent that thing in the fourth row. But just think about it. Think about what could have been as far as Magic, Kobe, Shaq, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones. And speaking of Eddie Jones doesn't get enough credit because what he did as a player with the Lakers, he was a defensive stopper. He groomed Kobe early because they had to go one-on-one in practice. And he was taking it to Kobe in practice. Kobe was taking it to him, but I felt that they were so good together. And then they trade Eldon Campbell, Eddie Jones away to Charlotte. And I'm like, but I notice Eddie Jones always gets traded. If Eddie Jones was playing with a team, let's go. Eddie Jones, put it down again, right hand. Eddie Jones got traded from the Lakers. They win 3 championships. He goes to Charlotte, has pretty decent. Memphis. He went to Miami. Miami trades him. Oh, I was already gone. Damn, he knocked that down with a hand in his face. Are you serious? But he went to Miami. They traded him out of Miami. Miami wins the title. Ooh. I was trying to get that. But Kobe was just an extraordinary player. You watched it. If you watched basketball from the time he came into the league. And I've been watching basketball consistently since 1989. And I've been a Bulls fan since then. Um, almost was a Laker fan. Give it to me. I wanted you to keep going. Set it up. Uh, and I lost the ball. Jesus. Trying to do too much. But he extraordinary player. Extraordinary. They announced that he was gonna be well, I mean, we all knew he was gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. God daggone, he picked my pocket again. But everybody knew Kobe was gonna be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Come on now. How many players can you say their final act? Come on. Let's go. Give it up. Whoop. And one. How many players can say their final act, their last game, is a 60-point effort? And I'll never forget that night. Of course, they showed it last night on ESPN, and I couldn't watch it because it was such a happy time. And I remember that night, I was doing something else, so I kept checking in. And, I mean, the Staples Center sold out. The point total for Kobe was just rising. And I was like, okay. To be honest, I've never seen a player in my recent memory last game be as dominant as that. He said, uh-oh, I wasn't getting that. He said for the first time in his career, everybody was saying, shoot, 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 shoot. He said, normally they're asking me to pass it. But, it happens. Daggone, I didn't want you to come out there and get that. Go, Coos. I missed that. I know I missed it. I'm not getting it. My release ain't as fast as it used to be. And we let that go. But just he was an extraordinary player. But one thing I'm not gonna sugarcoat and I'm not gonna lie about. One thing Kobe would do, Kobe would cut your heart out. And he would take it out of your chest and show it to you while it's still beating. Oh, come on. There you go. He was an apex predator. They say a black mamba is a very dangerous and poisonous snake. A black mamba is an apex predator. So that name was fitting. He would get you on the court and he would break you down. He would break you down mentally and physically. Because he could talk trash with the best of them. And the wild part about it, Kobe could talk trash to you in 6 different languages if he wanted to. Now, only other player that I know, and I talk about him a lot here on the Sideline Junkies, that's my man Drazen Petrovic. Petrovic could talk trash to you in 4 different languages. That's why Reggie Miller always said he loved playing against Petro. Because Petro with trash talk, you don't even know what he's saying, but you like pretty goddamn aggressive. And he's lighting you up the whole time. One thing that everybody I know is going to go and look at, and it's came up so many times, and that's the ball fake from Matt Barnes to Kobe, and he just standing there just staring him down. Now overhead, the ball was nowhere near Kobe's face, but it was just the daggone it. It was just the gangster attitude. Go, come on, Danny, go. There you go. It was just a gangster attitude from Kobe on that one, and that's always gonna be legendary. Him going off in practice, pushing the team, and going at Jeremy Lin. I mean, they were going. Well, he was going at Jeremy Lin. I don't think Jeremy Lin knew he was going at him, and he ain't really do much. Ooh, swatted again. But that right there, those are the things on the court that he's always gonna be remembered for. That fire, that tenacity. You can't uh you can't. Uh-oh, I'm on defense here. I'm all lost. You can't match that. And I said it last night. Damn it! Even with a hand in his face, that boy good. But I said it last night. When they talk about Mamba mentality, it wasn't just on the basketball court. And everybody says, you got to have Mamba mentality, and he stripped them. But don't just have it in sports. Have it in life. Have that vision to finish. Push yourself when you feel like, ooh, ooh, let's go, give it up. Ooh, oh, and one. So when you in life, and it's beating you down, you want to give it up. You got to think about that. That's one thing to think about. Mamba mentality. I also think about another California legend, Nipsey Hussle, and the song "Hustle and Motivate." Every morning, I play "Hustle and Motivate," and I got a 45 minutes or an hour long ride to work every morning that I work, and I play "Hustle and Motivate" because that's my goal. I gotta hustle, and I got little ones looking at me. I got big ones looking at me too. So out of 5 kids and 2 bonus kids, I got a lot of people staring at me, watching me. I mean, they not looking at me to fail. And I tell them all the time, God daggone it, ran me off a daggone screen. It's not gonna come easy. You gotta work at it, okay? And that's anything. To be the best is something you gotta put the work in. The sideline junkies talk about us being the best at what we do, but we gotta put the work in. We put the work in, but our goal is to put the work in even harder. Oh, come on, you should have gave that up. We could have reset that. But you got to put that work in and be uber focused to grind. Sometimes your goals are gonna cost you sleep. And knowing what we know about Kobe's last day, they say he got up and he was at church before mass, and him and his daughter took communion. Let me go back door. They wasn't waiting for that. And that, that's dedication. And they were gone to they had went, and his daughter had 2 games on Saturday. This is Sunday. Right back to the academy again to get that work in. And we talked about it months ago. Maybe it may have been last year. It may have been longer than months ago. Kobe coaching his daughter's team. And I was telling the fellas, I was reading an article. They say he running a triangle. And I said he's running a triangle with 6th and 7th graders. Dude, grown men can't stop the triangle. God daggone it. I tried to seal him along the baseline and couldn't do it. But grown men can't stop the triangle. Now you're running this with children. Yeah, they gonna do some damage. And that team was pretty daggone good. They say in an article that I read last night, Coach Mouser, he brung her in and told her to she got to teach these girls defense. I can't get to him. He keep daggone beat me off that first step. And the girls called her the mother of defense because she taught them defense. Come on, baby. Put that. There you go. You hesitated. But, the intensity was there with his daughter, Gigi, because she wanted to go to UConn. Now, you got to be one of the best players in the country to go to UConn, Tennessee, Maryland. Come on, LeBron, do something. There you go. Tennessee, Maryland, Baylor. These are the top women's programs. I think UConn is the tops, but those other schools, they not far behind UConn. UConn just been on top for so long. Like I always said, I was scared to see what the late great Pat Summitt did if she coached men, and she's a great motivator. She was a great motivator. She got the most out of her players. And come on, do something, Danny. But same thing with hell. Let's get back. Let's get back. Damn it. Same thing with Gino Auriemma. I would love to see him coach men. Just like everybody thought Mike Krzyzewski wouldn't wouldn't do good with grown men, but he showed what he could do with the Olympic team. Now that's a lot of talent, but he showed what he could do with the Olympic team. I missed that. I can't hit a jumper to save my life tonight. That's cause y'all watching. But mm, don't you call me? Oh, you called me for the foul. But as a as a player, uh, Kobe turned into something that honestly, Kevin Garnett, Moses Malone. This is before T Mac. This is before LeBron James. Before Dwight Howard. Before any of the other guys that came out of high school. It was a lot of guys coming out of high school, late 90s. Garnett came out in 95. Uh, so he played the 95-96 season. Kobe was the 96-97 season. You had guys like Ronnie Fields. Geez, I'm trying to think of other high school players that came to the league and really didn't do too good. Corleone Young, I believe, was from high school. Ooh, good move, LeBron. But you look at Kobe, and he had maybe out of 20 years, 2 off seasons, and I think those were injury seasons. I mean, we talk about moments that's always going to be remembered on the court. Tore his Achilles, walked back on the floor, shot 2 free throws. Now, I've never torn my Achilles, but the amount of pain that I've heard it described in that you're in when you tear your Achilles, to get up, walk onto the court. Did he get a piece of it? Give it. Let's go. Shoot it, Avery. Uh. Uh. So the amount of pain to be in, to compose yourself, to hit 2 free throws, that says a lot. That's that Mamba mentality. Now, I was talking last night about something that was funny. I had a my player NBA 2K13, and I was just tooling around. It was free agency. I was like, let me see who needs a point guard. At that time, the Lakers needed a point guard. They had signed a couple people, but they had no point guard. And now mind you, in real life, pickup basketball, depending on who I'm playing with, I'm not no point guard anymore. I am 6'3", 6'4", 275 pounds. I'm a bruiser. I like to bang. That's what I love to do. I love to bang. But depending on who I'm playing with, like if I'm playing with the Fantastic Five, which is a group of guys that we are the Fantastic Five, and that's D'Angelo, Pat, and I hope those guys are listening. But if you know, it's that time where Pat says, he ready to take the paint. I go to the high post and I feed Pat, let him go to work. And then, when I'm feeling it and I'm like, all right, Pat weighing down, clock out. I go clock in. I get my lunch pail and my hard hat. I go clock in. And I bang. But now, on 2K, I could play my natural position that I was born to play. Even though I love playing the front court as a forward or a center. Because I love being undersized and out rebounding guys. I've been doing that since high school. I'm 5'10". I had a guy that was 6'10", and I out rebounded him every time we played. It's just being relentless. My love for Dennis Rodman started that. But anyway, I had a chance to play in LA with Kobe. And now I'm one of the best players in the league at this time. I'm better than LeBron. Uh-oh. Ah. Oh. That was on me. I was trying to get out the paint. I'm better than LeBron on the game. I'm 99 overall. It took me 3 seasons to become a 99. And no, I didn't buy no VC because you couldn't buy VC at that time. You had to earn it. So I was earning it. But I thought about it. I wanted to make the game challenging. And I was playing in Milwaukee at the time. And the amount of money that the Lakers were offering me, it was 3 years. And it was going to equal up to no, I take that back. It was about 5 years. It was going to equal up to $129 million. I took less money and stayed in Milwaukee because I said the game wouldn't be fair. There you go, Kuz. It wouldn't be fair to play the game where you got me, you got Kobe. They still had Dwight Howard at the time. I think they had lost Pau Gasol. Now, mind you, this is a couple seasons in. But I looked at the squad, and it was a squad. I can't remember everybody that was on. I think they had even signed Andre Iguodala to play small forward. And I'm like, yo, we got a squad. And all they were missing was a point guard. Now, this particular year, all I did was, score and pass. I was averaging 15 to 16 points. Assists per game. I was averaging close to 50 points. And I was like, to share the ball with Kobe would be an honor. I didn't need to score all the time. I could just defer, give it to Kobe, And then when it's time to close it out, Kobe can sit on the bench. I can close the game out. But I said the game wouldn't be. It'll be fun, but it wouldn't be as challenging as I want it to be. And I was like, no, I'd rather play against Kobe. Because I'm from that era. You don't team up with your boys to beat anybody in the NBA. You balled and you worked hard on your craft and you got better. And you beat them on your own, your own steam. And that's what I wanted to do. I was a 2-time champion. I wanted to go win a 3rd title. And I did just that. I went and won a 3rd title. And every time we played the Lakers, Kobe might light me up for 40. But I lit him up for 50. So, it was a battle. But that is video game Mamba mentality. Because I worked hard at the craft. But I wanted to beat the teacher. I wanted to beat LeBron. I didn't want to play with LeBron. I had a chance to go to Miami. I didn't want to play with LeBron then. I wanted to beat LeBron. I wanted to beat Wade. I wanted to beat Kobe. That's what it's all about. You never seen. Now, when they got Kobe help, it was never a tier 1 star. When I say tier 1, it was now he had Shaq. But he was just coming into the league. They had signed Shaq. They didn't know he was going to be. Kobe was going to be who he is. So he was supposed to be the compliment piece, but he wound up being the man. Okay? But when they built around him, Dwight Howard, when they brung him in, Howard wasn't a tier one. He was a tier two. Your tier ones is Wade, Nowitzki, uh, LeBron, Chris Paul. When the Lakers were about to get Chris Paul, they Chris Paul wasn't a tier one. He was a tier two. He was a good compliment. When he got Nash, Nash was a tier two. See what I'm saying? Kobe never recruited. Ah, shit. I was trying to get around him. He never recruited the best to come play with him. Right there. Shoot it. Shoot it, Jay. Shoot it. But come on, man. Put that ball up. Back on defense. But that's what I mean when I say, you can't. If you want to defeat somebody, and that's one thing. There was never a super team built to beat the Lakers of the early 2000s. Because 2000, 2001, 2002. The the Spurs weren't a super team. That team was built through the draft, and they got, you know, lower pieces. I'm not gonna say lower. They got smaller pieces through free agency. Uh, that that Pistons team. Let's go. Let's go. Uh, see that? See that? That Pistons team was built through, signing guys. Nobody knew that team was gonna be like that. I kind of hinted at it, and I was just joking. I said, when they traded for Rasheed Wallace, I said Rasheed Wallace gonna get him a championship, and I'll be damned if he didn't. He helped put that championship there. Good pass. But Kobe was a different breed. He was a different monster. I was listening to him and Tracy McGrady talk, and they were talking about, you know, Tracy McGrady said we never played 1-on-1, and Kobe said, yeah, we did. It was either France or Germany. This is about a year ago. They did an interview with Rachel Nichols, and he was like, I beat you 11-3. He was like, I wasn't keeping score. He said, I was. He said, I'm not gonna pull no number out of thin air. I was keeping score. And Rachel Nichols made a very good observation. She said it didn't matter if you were drinking coffee. Kobe's gonna keep scoring who finished first. That right there, that competitive fire, that competitive nature. A lot of players have it, but nobody had it like Kobe. Nobody had it like Mike. Give it here, LeBron. Yeah. But all in all, you know, on the court, Kobe was a legend, but off the court, he grew up and became a loving father. Uh, got boxed out, became a loving father, a great husband, and he talked about being a better husband to his wife after infidelities. Get in there, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing when you can learn from a mistake and you can grow from it. Not only just learn, and learning that first step. Let's go. I meant to hit LeBron. Kick it. All right. I meant to hit LeBron on that. But as a man, knockdown. Oh, as a man, when you can make a mistake and you learn from it and you get better from it, and I'm not even gonna say as a man, as a human being, when you make a mistake and you learn from it and it makes you better, you know, that says a lot Lay that thing in. That says a lot about you as a person, because some people make the same mistake over and over and over and over and over again. Ooh, swat that thing. Let's go. That should have been and one. But that shows the evolution as the People's Choice Don Rodriguez checking in there. But that shows everything, and that shows your evolution as a man when you can do something like that and you can learn. So, uh, a lot of people are bringing up. Oh, let me see if I can hit this free throw. Got it. A lot of people are bringing up the rape case, which he was acquitted of, and you know, I hate it when. Now I'm not saying if anybody is perfect, it ain't me, and I don't know a perfect person on the face of this earth. If it's a perfect person as an adult on the face of this earth, hey, send them to me. Let me see them. That's what I'm saying. But I about to say if I hit that, that's buckets. That's money. But was Kobe perfect? No. To be quite honest, not a single soul was perfect that lost their life on that helicopter. So we can't sit here and act like they were. But one thing you don't do when a family is grieving is always bring up somebody's mistakes. No, the mistakes are not forgotten. But this family is grieving and people are bringing up the rape allegations and what happened in Colorado and things like that. And it's a lot of far-fetched things, and people who are so-called, I'm using air quotations, you see that number 3 rookie in the league, and I'm climbing. But you see certain people who are so-called respected making far-fetched allegations and about things that they know nothing about. Nothing. Not a thing. And I'm like, how can you make these claims and your facts are even wrong? What you know is wrong. Get in there. Come on. But he plucked his pocket. I wanted to go back though. But that has to stop. The things that have been said in the newspaper, on TV, I seen something. And one thing, for those of us that are basketball fans, and I call myself a basketball purist because I love the game in its purest form. But for those of us that I can't hit that, I know I'm not gonna hit it. No matter, I could be feeling it, I'm not gonna hit it. And the People's Choice Don Rodriguez is checking in. He said his son is out in L.A. and said it's like the whole city stopped. Yeah, yeah. A Facebook friend of mine, she said if they filled up the Staples Center up right down the middle, they filled up the Staples Center for Nipsey Hussle, they're gonna need the whole state of California and probably part of Nevada for Kobe. Because just the influence that he had in that area was immense. But I don't understand. I was talking about people. One thing we got to ignore as basketball fans, Kobe fans, supporters, got to ignore the haters. because it's a lot of people hate for whatever reason because they didn't like Kobe in life. I'm on the bench. They didn't like Kobe in life. They don't like him in death. They don't like the amount of coverage he's getting. And not to be come on, y'all, knock that down. The others that lost their lives are not forgotten. They're not just fine print at the bottom. They matter just as much. Uh, just the things that I've seen in the last couple of days. Somebody made a post about how black women are not supporting. They don't care that Kobe, passed away. They don't care anything about his daughter. I'm like, how can you say that? A human life was lost, 9 of them. But you're upset because you feel that because Kobe chose to marry a woman that you didn't like for whatever reason. That's your problem. It's not your problem. Who that man decided to be with is for him, not for you. So all of that, kill that noise. I said it last night, and go check that out on all major streaming services. Sideline Junkies. Uh, it's pretty much just me trying to get through being emotional and just letting everything spill out. Uh, I can't. Come on, Kuzma can't hit nothing. I hate passing the ball to Kuzma because he don't hit nothing. He makes me mad. We played in summer league together and he didn't do anything. Oh, there we go. Got a foul. But that type of stuff, the negativity, and the People's Choice Don Rodriguez says the negative side of social media, when it didn't exist. Oh, hold on, wait, I got the ball. Hold on, I got you, Don. I got you. I had an open shot too. Give up the ball. Shoot it. Shoot the J. I missed it. Don Rodriguez says that's the negative side of social media. When it didn't exist, these situations were better with better when dealing with the public eye, and it absolutely is. And it's not just Kobe. It's not. I've seen a post praising Michael Jordan's former wife Juanita because he cheated on her with somebody that was of a lighter shade, and uh, she wound up getting. Now she did get one of the and one. She did get one of the biggest divorce settlements in history, 168 million. But in the post, they were saying, oh, every time you buy a pair of Jordans, she gets half of it, and she's a lawyer. She's so smart. She is a smart woman. Not gonna lie about that. But she does not get half of any sale of Jordans. She got that one-time payout. That's it. And that's the negative part I'm talking about. It's one thing, you don't know what happened between Michael Jordan and his wife. You don't know what happened between Kobe and his wife. You don't know what happened between Magic and Cookie. Because one thing my mother always say, you weren't the bed and you weren't the post. So you weren't there. You don't know. You weren't in their home for the discussions or what happened. So stop speculating. And social media is, he keeps getting off that daggone pick. Who gonna flash? Who gonna flash? But you know it's daggone it. Social media has become such a bad thing because every time you see a celebrity, somebody has to put it on IG. They got to put it on Twitter. They got to put it on Facebook. That, oh yeah, I seen so and so. And LeBron with the dunk. There it is. I need one more so I can give me my double double. I promised a double double during the stream. But people in the private and the public eye, they can't live a private life now because it's a camera everywhere. Everyone's watching, and that's something I deal with in my everyday job. No matter what I do, it's somebody watching because of these daggone ring cameras, cell phones. It's somebody watching. Let's go. Uh, just slow up on them and go right past them. But I, the things that are being said about Kobe's personal life and you know things that happened in the past, yeah, they're gonna come up. But one thing that shouldn't be said is speculation. If you don't have proof, you don't have the truth, cut it out. Kill that noise. And I mean that. And come on, man, give me the ball. Ah, there's my 10th one. Give it to me. I promised a double double, 28 and 10. There's my double double. Skunk rule. I ain't got nothing to do with no skunk rule. They stepped on the court. They gonna catch all this smoke. Don't. Oh, come on. Believe me, it's not like this every time I play. And this is me being rusty. I haven't hit a jumper. I hit one jumper all night. So I've been taking him to the rack. Take him to the rack. But the thing about Kobe, he's always going to be remembered as an all-time great. Now, I hear people saying, well, y'all didn't even have Kobe in your top 5. Yeah, Kobe's no longer with us. Kobe was in the Sideline Junkies top 20. But that's because when we did our list, we were truthful. Put it down. There it is. And it was a lot of players that we had to list above Kobe. We did we did 3 tiers. Now, we kind of, with everything going on, we kind of scrapped it. And but we still got it in the archives, but we didn't post the other 2 tiers. We posted the 3rd tier. Didn't post the top 2. But, let's go. Damn, we got the ball. Let's go. Whoop. And 1. We got through all of we just went through combing through players, and last Wednesday myself and BJ, we sat down and we talked about the list. And we talked about who wasn't on the list. Okay, we got to rearrange this. We got to rearrange that. So we had Michael. Hold on. I can pull it up. Hold on. But we had a list of players that belonged on this list. And we wasn't putting it behind, putting anybody ahead of anybody for any reason. But we did it to the best of our ability. Now, what came out of it, in order, we had Jordan, Wilt, Kareem, Bill Russell, Jordan, Wilt, Kareem, Bill Russell. 4, Magic, Bird, Duncan, Julius Erving, Oscar Robertson, and Shaq. That was tier 1. Kobe made it to tier 2, but that's only because we had different guys in front of him. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend, oh, well, Kobe was the number 2 player of all time. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to lie to myself. But I always had the argument. Everybody's saying it's LeBron better than Jordan, but we talked about it here on the Sideline Junkies. Is LeBron better than Kobe? And that's still the case. But it's gonna be forever a question. And that's a good debate. That's a good question because we can bring up everything. Because I rather compare LeBron and Kobe rather than LeBron and Jordan. And not because I'm a Jordan fan or anything like that, but LeBron and Kobe would they have the time together. You know, LeBron straight out of high school, Kobe straight out of high school. Uh, they 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 dare I say it? LeBron's a generational talent. But let me ask a question: can we say Kobe was a generational talent because he was head and shoulders above the rest? Ooh, swatted it. But he was head and above and shoulders above the rest for quite some time. Got robbed out of a couple MVPs, but you think about that. And LeBron plays 20 years, and he passed Kobe for third all time. But LeBron has been the guy since he came into the league. He was drafted in Cleveland to resurrect the franchise, and he did it. So, mm, you know, I'm kind of sort of babbling, but it's just so much that I want to say, and I had trouble getting it all out last night because I was emotional, and sitting here, this is the first time I picked up 2K in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but to sit here and live stream and talk about my feelings and what's on my mind, yeah, I'm still emotional, but it feels good. It's therapeutic. And think about this. And going back to Kobe off the court, think about was it Ben Simmons that went and sought out Kobe to help him out with his game? Candace Parker. But Kobe went and worked with Hakeem down in Houston. What was that? That was like 20. Was it 20? No, it wasn't 2010. I think it was like 2006. He went and worked with Kareem. I mean not Kareem. He worked with Hakeem and footwork on the block and things like. And one thing about Hakeem Olajuwon, his footwork on the block as a center was absolutely amazing. So that's got to be said. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Kobe actually early in his career actually worked with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because Kareem was in LA. I think he worked a little bit with Kareem. I'm not gonna say it was extensive, but think about the players that sought him out to work with him to work on their game. You had the ladies seeking him out for advice, and they said that if you text Kobe, he was busy, but he'll get back to you. Get the hell out the way. They keep running me off these daggone screens. But he would get back to you. He'll give you any advice that you needed. And they say he was the type of person that if you said you wanted to do something, he wanted to know what was stopping you from doing it. I missed that. Oh, I hit it. I hit it. That's only like my second 3-pointer of my career, but I hit it. But think about how many people sought him out to get that help. So that's something to think about. Just a lot to digest these last couple of days. I we as basketball fans, we're hurting. But let's think about the and I think I had a takeover to use. But let's think about the families involved, all of them. Uh, it's a lot to digest. Um, you got a husband that lost his wife. You got a husband and wife and a child that are gone, and they left behind two siblings. You got a wife that lost her husband and her daughter. You got a family that lost their uncle, brother, cousin. It's a lot to it. And the the People's Choice Don Rodriguez, he said it in the statement. Um, I read last night on the podcast. If you got any petty squabbles, let it go. Let it go. It does not matter. One thing about death, no matter if it's a celebrity, family member, it's letting you know. It's reminding you. You should know every day. Life is short. It's precious. Uh, you have to you have to realize that every day. A death should not tell you, "Oh well, life's short." If everybody lived forever, you should still know. Life is precious, whether you had time or not. And that's the mistake that everybody makes, thinking that you have time. Life is short. Okay? No death needs to remind you of that. All you need to every day, I need to live this day like it's my last. That's it and that's all. That's it and that's all. I need to live this day like it's my last. Like I said last night, I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just telling you from experience. And personally, me as a 38-year-old black man, I've been to too many funerals. And I've been going to funerals since I was a kid. Family members. I don't want pro-am, I want the neighborhood. Family members. Then when I got older, I'm burying friends. It's no way in the world I'm 12 years old and I'm burying my friend. Um, the following summer, that was the summer of, that was 94, 95. That was that school year for me. I buried a friend. Then summer of 95, I bury another friend. 10th grade year, I bury another friend. And it goes on, and I, I'm burying. I buried a girlfriend. I buried my grandmother. I buried my grandfather. I buried, out of the 9 uncles I had, I buried 7 of them. I've buried. I had 4 aunts. I buried 2 of them. It's too much death. Not to mention the cousins that I've lost. And I don't mean, oh no, that was a distant cousin from Bio Labatry, Georgia. No, 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 no. I'm talking about cousins that I grew up with. I'm burying too many people. I'm burying too many friends. So I know it's right there how precious life is, how short it can be. You know, those things have to be uh, they have to be in the front of your mind every day. I'm not saying live your life in fear, but live it to the fullest. That way, when it's time to go out and your number's been called, and it's time to go punch that clock, that last clock. And something that Shannon Sharp said, and I love Uncle Shay Shay. I love him. because he's real and I can relate to him. I love him and Skip. Uncle Skip and Uncle Shannon. Love them both. And he said something that his grandmother told him, and I think it's the most God dang, I'm sitting here waiting for the daggone screen to load and I ain't hit the daggone thing. Y'all could have told me that. But here's something that his grandmother said. It's one appointment that you can't cancel. That's it. You have to know that. And when it's time for that appointment, you can't say, oh man, I can't make it today. Time's up. It's time to go. On to the next one. You know, I had a joke with D'Angelo, one of my closest friends when I worked at my last job, and we talk basketball all the time. And I told him, I said, I can never be afraid to die because, and he told me about super heaven. He asked me a question. He said, where do angels go when they die? And I was stuck. Like, what do you mean? He said they go to super heaven. And of course, even now I still laugh at it. But I say, wow, that's a way to look at it. And I told him, I said, I can't be afraid to die because I got a job waiting for me. I'm gonna be a part of God's security team. I'm gonna be the head of security, so I'll be fine. And that's how I think about it. I mean, you rationalize it. I'm not overly religious. I'm not. I really don't consider myself religious. I'm spiritual, and but I know it's something beyond this earthly realm. Somewhere, it's something beyond it, and any day, any hour, any moment, it could be my time to go punch in. But every day, and once it's time to punch in, if I didn't live my life to the fullest, I wasted the time that I had. I've wasted the actual time that I've been given. People's Choice say, I thought we'd be calling the action from all the matches in heaven. Piper versus Macho Man versus Eddie. Well, hey, look, ain't nobody say I couldn't pull double duty. Now, I mean, this is a lucrative job being head of security in heaven. But the man above, the big guy above, I'm just the big guy down below, but the big guy above, he knows where my heart lies. And to call that match, seeing Latino Heat do that patented frog splash off the top rope would be absolutely beautiful. I will say that. But WrestleManiacs are indeed supernatural, sir. Indeed. But every day, you got to think about that. And the People's Choice, Don Rodriguez, you said it best. When your time is up, if they say, you were just an angry, mean, and surly person, is that really what you want to be known as? You got to ask yourself that. Because if you running around and you holding on, I think I want to go buy some shoes. You holding on to petty squabbles and things like that. Now, one thing that people's getting it twisted with, saying that, yeah, petty squabbles, you can let them go. That don't mean you have to let somebody into your life and they've done you wrong and they continually do you wrong. No, squash the beef. Squash the beef. And clean slated. But that don't mean be a glutton for punishment. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Don't be a glutton for punishment. I think I went in the wrong store. Yeah, I sure enough did. I went to the shoe store. But don't be a glutton for punishment. Protect yourself at all times, but squash those beefs. Squash them, man. You don't have to. Where's the shoe store? You don't have to hold on to grudges because uh so and so said back in 2014 that they didn't like you. So you're holding on to a 6 year grudge. And y'all may live another 80 years. So that's 86 years of a grudge when so and so probably didn't even say they didn't like you. That's just what somebody else told you, and they separated you. They ruined a friendship off of hearsay. See what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. Jay Williams said it too. As I said, the People's Choice Don Rodriguez said it. That shit don't mean nothing. Okay? Let it go. Pick up the phone and tell everybody. I mean, I tell my kids I love them a lot. I say y'all probably get tired of that, but they always say, "Nah, we don't." But I mess with them. How much money? Oh, I got money for shoes. I mess with them all the time. I say I'm probably the hardest, lovingest father because I'm rough with my kids. I got 3 girls, 2 boys. Then I got the oldest ones got boyfriends, so that those are the bonus kids. And I'm rough on them. My oldest is 23, and then not to mention I got an older niece who's 24, and the Kobe ones matter of fact I have those. I had those on my feet yesterday. I've had them for 2 years and probably wore them about 5 or 6 times. No, take that back, probably 8. Black and purple, baby, black and purple. I was pressed to get them, but I'm very rough with my kids. I wrestle, I box with them, but I love them. I tell them all the time I love them because I never know when I'm gonna walk out the door and I don't get to say it anymore. They don't get to hear it, so I let them know I love them. I love them. I tell them all the time I love you. So not just your kids, your friends, your family. Just call them out the blue. I mean, you don't even have to have a conversation. Pick up the phone. Hey, what's going on? Nothing. Just call and tell you I love you. I ain't want nothing else. All right, I'll talk to you later. That's it. That's it. Hang up the phone. The text message that Shaq's son Sharif said he got a text from Kobe Sunday morning about 8:30. Said you good, fam. He said he slept in and he didn't get the text right away, so he answered back about 10 something and said yeah, I'm good, trying to figure out my next move. And then he texts back, how you been? It's a text that Kobe would never answer. Sharif would never get a he'll never get an answer. And that hurts. That really does. Hearing Ice Cube say when he heard the news, the first thing he did was call Kobe because he thought it was a hoax. He texted him. But that's a text that he'll never get an answer to. That hurts. That really hurts. But that's why I say life is precious. Life is here today, gone tomorrow. So you gotta remember that every day. It's here today, gone tomorrow. So uh I'm sitting in here shopping for shoes and babbling and running my mouth, but told everybody last night. Everybody. And I'm telling everybody that's under the sound of my voice now. I may know you, may not know you. I can't tell who's watching. But I love you. And that's what we need more of. Let's hate more love. And I seen something earlier, and it's probably the hardest I've laughed in the last 2 days. And it was a gif of Kobe saying soft. I forget who he's talking. Was he telling Dwight Howard that he was soft? I can't remember who he told he was soft, but it was a gif of him just saying soft and shaking his head. And the caption read, Kobe probably sitting in heaven right now looking down on us. Like, why are you mourning over me? Why are y'all crying? Go get in the gym. We got work to do. And it's basically him saying, y'all soft. We got work to do. You know? And I laughed for maybe a good 10 minutes over that because I can get that. I can get up with that. It's time to go do work. So now's the time. You know, you got 24 hours in a day. And BJ has been drilling this into me for years now. And he said it to me a couple of times in the last couple of days because it was a video that what Kobe said, if you dread going into a place to work, don't do it anymore. Do what you love. But in order for you to do what you love, you got to work hard at it, right? Start putting in that time. The time for excuses is over. The type of motivation I seen from everybody when Nipsey Hussle was killed about continuing the marathon. The marathon continues. What happened to that energy? Now, Kobe's gone. And you talking about Mamba mentality. Don't let it fade out. Because it's not the hot story anymore. The marathon continues and Mamba mentality continues. You got to have that focus, that drive to get what you want. Because getting what you want will take care of your needs. If you want to start a business, figure out how you can do it. Put the work in. It's 24 hours in a day. There's no excuse. And that goes for me too. Because I piss away a lot of hours doing nothing. And in order to be great, you have to sacrifice sleep. You have to. So, with that being said, yo, Outkast said it best. Get up, get out, and get something. You ain't got to knock nobody over the head and rob folks to get whatever it is you want. You don't have to. You really don't. You can pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and do what's needed. Do what you need to do. Sometimes only thing holding you back is you. So you take the Mamba mentality. You remember that the marathon continues because this life, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. You got to get out there and you got to get it. You got to get it. So I've been going on for an hour and 34 minutes and some change. Sitting here trying to pick shoes. But I'm gonna go ahead with these Kobe's. And um I've been burning y'all up already, so uh y'all just gotta remember. Love one another. And if you got a dream, do what you gotta do to make your dream happen. You wanna own a business. You wanna play ball. You know, you got a chance. There's avenues, but you gotta put the work in. Ain't nothing gonna be handed to you. Nobody's gonna drive by. I'm not buying no VC, and we already know what go-go is, sir. To the people's choice, Don Rodriguez. But you you want to start a business, You want to get better at basketball, football, baseball, hockey. Go put the work in. Go put the work in. Sitting around, you know, not doing it, it's never gonna get you better. I'm now. This is something hard for me to admit. My time is past for playing. I'm doing something that the generation before me did, and that's helping those that are coming behind me, helping the next generation. Now, I've been doing that for the longest. Most of them don't listen because they think, everything that's happening now is new. Uh, this is nothing. This is just reruns to us. It was just like it was reruns to the generation before us. And you're absolutely right, Don. Success only comes before work in the dictionary. If you think you don't have to work to be successful, you are sadly mistaken. I tell my son all the time, I say, dude, you sit there and you work at 2K and uh, Grand Theft Auto. I said, but you can never get what you want on the basketball court. I said, how many times do you go out when you in the gym and just work by yourself? He said, I don't. I said, you play against your friends, huh? He said, yeah. But if you're constantly playing against the same guys and you're dominating them, it's time to step up the level and work. Okay? So, and once again, Don, you're right. Just as Drew McIntyre or Kofi Kingston, those guys had to work hard. Kofi had to work 11 years before he got a real title shot. Give me that. Drew McIntyre was fired by WWE, and he backdoor. He was fired by WWE, came back, reinvented himself, and look at him now. He's getting ready to headline WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre, hard work, getting ready to get in there, getting ready to headline WrestleMania. That says a lot about hard work, patience, and sacrifice. It's not going to come overnight. So don't think that it is. God daggone it, AD. It's not going to come overnight. You got to remember that, okay? So once this drill is over, I'm going to let y'all go. Take heed to what I'm saying, please. I'm not no certified motivational speaker. You missed it. Let's go. I'm not no certified motivational speaker. I'm just a guy that have been through a lot in his life. I'm 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 tired of burying friends. I'm tired of God daggone he lost it again. I'm tired of people crying about not being successful but don't do anything to try to be successful. So, we can all work together. That's not a problem. We can work together to do what needs to be done. Okay? A lot of the things that you need and the knowledge that you need, you already have. You just got to freshen up on it. And you got to sharpen that knowledge. So you got to put in your circle people that uh, people that are willing to that's game. People that are willing to push you to better things. They're willing to elevate you. If they're a level above you, they're willing to reach back and pull you up and show you how they got to that level, and then you keep ascending up the ladder together. Not stepping on anybody, but they're pulling, hey, I'm going to pull everybody up. This is what we're going to do. So you got to put those type of people around. You got to put positive people around you. Hey, I'm about to get dominated in this drill. You got to put strong-minded people around you, because one thing I've always learned: steel sharpens steel, iron sharpens iron. So if you got people that are headed in the same direction as you, those are the type of people you need. You don't need somebody that's gonna drag you down. They're gonna be a stone around your neck. You don't need that. Not one bit. You have to realize and analyze the people in your circle. If every conversation y'all have is about, it's not, you never have a conversation about how to be successful, how, what can you do to get to that next level. That's not somebody you want to be around. You don't want to be around somebody that's going to be stagnant and staying still. They just want to wait for you to get successful, and they want to ride your coattails. To be quite honest, people like that is, in my opinion, what took Delonte West down. We've known Delonte West had issues for quite some time. But when you don't have somebody around you that's worrying about your well-being, they could care less. And once the money stopped, that's when the checking on you stopped. The all of that. They don't care anymore because you're not giving me any money. Now he's out here by himself. That video going around, is it Delonte West? Yes. And I enjoy how everybody, once they follow through, it'll be, 10 times better. But the simple fact that Jameer Nelson, uh, who else? It was a couple of players that said, they would reach out to him and try to get him help. He's needed help for some time, but I mean, better late than never. If you from the DMV and Rivertown over in Oxon Hill, you would see him out there barefoot and begging for change. That's not something that's not him. That's unbecoming of him. That's not his style. And he's had problems for quite some time. So it's time to start helping our own. But in the process of helping our own, and when I say our own, it don't matter what color you are, but start helping people that want to help themselves. They want help. You got to start helping them. Don't hold hostage the knowledge. Teach. Somebody taught you, you got to reach back and you got to teach. That's the only way we're going to become stronger as a people. So, that's pretty much all I got, y'all. Don't forget to go check out the latest episode of Sideline Junkies. BJ, Delonte, Junie, they'll be up in the next podcast with their Kobe tribute and their thoughts. So stay tuned for that. Anybody out there listening, you can now give the Sideline Junkies a call. And let me pull up the number for you. I got to make sure I got it. Sideline Junkies office. And you can just call, leave a message. 240-543-5477. So no matter what time you call, somebody will get back to you within 24 hours. Let you know. So I'm the big guy KG. Once again, keep the Mamba mentality alive. Keep it going. Every time you shoot, yo, Kobe, don't let the tradition die. And always remember that the marathon does continue. So that's all my time. Y'all be easy. Have a good night.